Let's start with the talents. Matthew 25:14. You ready? For the kingdom of heaven, by the way, that term kingdom of heaven is not in the original Greek. That was added for clarity, just so you know. It just says for, in the Greek it says, for as a man traveling into a far country. That's what it says. For as a man traveling into a far country called his own servants and delivered to them his goods. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability. This is the first time in parable that we have Jesus actually discriminating between individuals. Everything that we've had to this point, everybody's been flat. You had 10 virgins, 5 were considered 5 and 5 were considered foolish. They were all 10 virgins, they were all select, they were all elected, every one of them had the same chance to go into the wedding. No difference between any of them. What distinguished them was the fact that 5 were stupid. The stupid ones stay out. That was the answer. Before that, Noah. Everybody's on the same plane. It's all of humanity. Who was saved? The righteous were saved. The wicked were destroyed. In the parable of the virgins, who is left outside? I won't say the word wicked because it doesn't say wicked, does it? I don't think it says the word wicked.
Yeah.
The unwise, foolish. The foolish were left out. With Noah, the wicked were destroyed. In the parable of the virgins, the foolish were left out. In the parable of the faithful and unfaithful servants, it was the unfaithful wicked that was judged, that had weeping and gnashing of teeth. And so now we're talking about talents. This is the first time Jesus actually says, Justin gets 5 talents, Landon gets 3 talents, Sean gets 1 talent. Because he's watched what Justin has done in the past, and he's like, I can trust Justin with 5. And he's looked at Landon and he's like, Landon's trying. I'll give him a little bit of grace. I'll give him 3. And we're not going to talk about what he said to Sean. The kingdom of heaven, as a man traveling to a country, calls his servants and delivers to them. One he gives 5, another 2, another 1. Every man according to his ability. And straightway he takes his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same and made 5 more. Go Justin. Picking on Sean. Likewise, he that had received 2, Landon, gained 2 more. You can make money selling coffee. But he that received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, here we go again, there's that long time. Remember in Daniel, what was the long time? How many years was it? Anybody remember? From the time that we were talking about the Septuagint, that the truth was taken and cast to the ground, and he said, how long will it be from the time the truth is cast to the ground until...
Was it the 2600?
It's 100 years, 20... It was so close, dude. He said 2600. It's 2300. 2300 years. Good job. 2300 years. So, that's a long time. If you think about it, that prophecy is a 2300-year prophecy. That's a long time. Long time. And I know that people will disagree with me, and some people are going to say it's 2300 physical days. I don't think it is. I think it's 2300 years. But, all said, 2300 years. After a long time, there was a long time with Noah, there was a long time with the virgins, there was a long time in this parable. After a long time, the Lord of the servants come and reckon with them. And so, he that had received 5 came and brought the other 5, saying, Lord, you gave me 5 talents, behold, I've gained 5 more. And his Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Behold, I gained 2 more talents beside them. And his Lord said to him, what? Well done. I mean, this is a good manager. It's like, dude made me 5. You made me 2. You both got 100% increase, right? Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter the joy of your Lord. Then he that had received the 1 talent said, Lord, I know that you're a hard man, reaping where you've not sown and gathering where you've not strewed. I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the earth. So here, I'm giving it back to you. Here's what was yours. And his Lord answered, verse 26, and said to him, You wicked and slothful servant, you know that I reaped where I don't sow, and you gathered where I haven't strewn. You should have therefore at least given my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I would have at least received my own with usury, interest. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it to the one that has 10. For unto everyone that has will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from him that has not will be taken away even that which he has. And cast the unprofitable servant into darkness, and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The unprofitable servant. So now we have a wicked servant, we have a slothful servant, we have an unwise servant, we have a wicked servant. All of them end up experiencing the same consequences. They get cast out, and there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. There is that place where when the judgment finally happens, they realize, I can't do anything about it. It's out of my control. It will never change. I can't change this. It's not like they get one more opportunity. It's not like God comes along and says, look, it's been 1,000 years. You've learned your lesson. I'm going to give you another chance. It's just done. This life is a bubble. And when it pops, wherever you're at in your life is where you are for eternity. It freezes. We end up judgment, we end up reward, but whatever we are, when it stops, is where we are. Scripture says it's appointed unto man once to die and then the judgment. The norm is that we all die one time. It's not that people haven't come back to life, right? Jesus raised some people from the dead. But it's appointed. The appointment is mankind as a whole dies once and then the judgment. And all of us are responsible for how we live our lives, for how we are prepared, for how we're investing our talents. This scripture here, I think, is one of those ones where, when you look at it, so the interesting thing about this is that the master gave the guy 5 talents, and he let him keep it. And he even let him keep the interest. Did you just catch that? He's like, give the 1 to the guy that has 10. It's like, wait a minute, the guy didn't have 10. He didn't have any. I mean, it was your money in the first place, master. That what we learned from this parable is that the master gave the talents. He gave those $5,000 to the guy. And then watched what he did with it. It was a gift. It wasn't that he gave it to him only to steward until he got back and that he was going to, in response, give it back to him. This says, take the talent from him, verse 28, from the guy that didn't do anything. Take the talent and give it to him that has 10. So it's not that he has 5. It's that he's got 10 because he had 5 and he made 5 more. So now he's got 10. And because it was a gift in the very beginning, the master is actually watching Justin to see what Justin's doing with his own stuff. Did Justin just go out and blow it? Did Justin go out and spend the money? Coffee, whatever, vice Justin has? Did Justin invest it? What did Justin do with it? So he gave him the 5, and then the master watched and he says, oh wow, Justin really did a good job with this. He made 5 more. So here he says, that dude's got $10,000 now. It's not just he's got 5, he's got 10. Master didn't ask for it back. So every one of us in this room are guilty on this one. None of us gets away from the scripture. The Lord's placed inside